Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I am Victor Huerta, and on today's real estate show, don't be buying a house in Arizona until you know all the facts. That is right. So on today's video, we're going to deep dive into some great topics here. I'm going to show you some iBuyer data. We're going to get into affordability. We're going to get into population of what's happening in 2020 and what's going to happen in 2030, a 10-year gap. We're going to get into the employment and unemployment rates here in Phoenix, Arizona. Then we're going to get into the forbearance, because people are saying a lot of properties are going to go into foreclosure. There's going to be a lot of short sales. We're going to go back into 2008. So I'm going to show you that data here in Arizona. And then we're going to get into the market index, okay, meaning supply and demand. So I hope you're going to enjoy this video. This is a lot of data, especially if you are thinking about buying, selling, or investing in some real estate here in Arizona. This is a great video for you to watch. So with that being said, let's go.
This is where they go for the real estate info. I'm here to lead and help you succeed. One thing that you'll learn about me is I'm on a mission. To get the knowledge to the world when making decisions and buying and selling real estate.
Victor Huerta.
Remember my name.
Okay, my friends, welcome back. And if you have not done so, click that subscribe button and that bell to get notified once we drop the latest video. I mean, we are just dropping some home buyer tips, home seller tips, the Phoenix real estate market updates. That is right. So you can be mindful when you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in some real estate. So on today's video, you're not going to see the talking head. I am going to do a screen share. I will be on the left side or right side. My tablet will be on the other side. And I'm going to give you a lot of data if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing here in Arizona. So let me bring the screen share up and let's get started. All right, my friends, here we go. We got the screen share going here. And this actually video is sponsored by the Crawford Report. I pay a subscription fee to get the data and translate it to you as a home buyer, home seller, so you can make a decision on any kind of real estate needs here in Arizona. So with that being said, we are gonna do the screen share and I'll be looking over here just to make sure everything is in the frame. So what we're gonna get into first here is the iBuyer. Okay, let's get into the iBuyer data. And we're gonna bring this up right here is you will see the iBuyer data right here. And we are looking at open door purchases. You will see right there, open door purchases. And what we are looking at right here is we are in 2020 Q1, okay? And excuse the fine print, it kind of just got, so this is April, I believe. So that's the data as far as iBuyers, okay? There is not a whole lot going on as far as iBuyers. They just came back on the market. So there is one of your competition if you think about buying a house. You have Open Door is back on the market purchasing homes. You also have OfferPad, which is April. They brought 30 homes as well right here. Okay, there's your data. So that's another competitor as a first-time home buyer or repeated home buyer. You got these iBuyers that are here buying properties. Then we get into Zillow, which they have purchased 55 properties as well as far as April. Now remember, the iBuyers they left when the coronavirus hit. Okay, they pretty much took all their contracts off the table. All the sellers that were selling the properties to the iBuyers, they kind of left them stranded and they said, hey, good luck. We wish you nothing but the best, but right now we are not purchasing any more properties. But now they are back in full force. So if you're looking to buy a house, not only are you competing with Open Door, Redfin, Zillow, actually the home investors that are actually local here, small companies and people that are trying to purchase a house and resell it and wholesale it, is you got these iBuyers as well who are purchasing homes as well. So with that being said, is just be prepared when you're out there looking for a house, is you have a lot of competition, not only with regular buyers, but also with iBuyers and local investors here in the Valley. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so now we're gonna get into affordability. A lot of people are telling me that, hey, Phoenix is no longer affordable Well, this chart is going to show you something totally different. So as we have the split screen here, is we are gonna look at affordability. Now, if we look right here in the middle in 2006, is affordability was only 26.6%, meaning that only 26% of the population could afford a house. And you can see that graph right there. And of course, in 2008, right here is when the bubble popped and we went into that housing crisis. Now, as you can see here, is normal range, as she points it out right here in this box, is, let me bring this into the frame, is 63.0% is affordable here in Phoenix, Arizona, and 61.3% is affordable in US as far as housing. And you can see here it was more affordable in at 86%, and that year was in 2011. So this little gap right here, we are still seeing houses being affordable here, and it's due to the interest rates. Now, let me see if I have another chart on affordability. Yes, I do. We're gonna bring this one into the frame, and this one is, I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller so you can just see the graph here. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's take me out of the frame. You already know who I am. Let me give you this chart, which is the average price and monthly payment for a 1,500 square foot to 2,000 square foot home in Greater Phoenix. Now, we're gonna draw some stuff out here. If you see here, right here, let me make this a little bit smaller. That's a little too big. We are in January of 2015, okay? At a purchase price at $226,000, your payment would be $932 at a 3.67% interest rate. Now, as we can see here, as we move up here to March of 2018, your payment would be $1,297 at a 4.44% interest rate at $286,000. Then if we move here to a new purchase price of $303,000, your payment would be $1,443 at a 4.87% rate. Now we are right here in May of 2020 at a purchase price of $333,000. Okay, your payment would be $1,301 at a 3.24%. There are the dates. There is the data right there. I'm gonna blow that out for you. Take a look at that. So a negative 10%, that is a minus $142 since 2018. Okay, a positive $4 since 2018 in March, and up 40% since 2015. So you look at that chart, that chart is affordability is still there. Even though prices have increased, you are still able to purchase a property here because the rates are so low. You can see the rates, they have just, you're lower than you were in 2015 as far as the interest rate. I think I got one more chart. Yes, I do. Now, this is gonna go all the way back to 2003. Okay, we are at 2003. And as you can see, we are here in 2006 at the very peak, $324,000. Okay, your payment was $1,854 at an interest rate at 6.5%. 6.5%. Okay, in 2003, right here, your interest rate was 5.92. So I know a lot of people who bought here. Okay, interest only loans, 5, 3, 7-year ARMs, and then you see the crash, boom, right here. Okay, now it would have been nice if we all would have bought right here, right? Look at that, 130,000. Probably could have got the same house up here, down here, but we just didn't do it. We didn't do it. August 2011, the rates were 4.27%, and your payment would have been $578. That would have been awesome. Okay, but now let's take a look. Let's take a look where we're at. Okay, the facts: $333,000. Your rate is 3.24%, and your payment would be $1,301. Now, of course, that has to deal with your credit, your debt to income ratio. That all has to play with it. But I mean, look at the affordability. Even though this line almost matches up with 2005, end of 2005, early 2006, affordability is in line. As you can see right there, as you can see, the increase in purchase price is at a steady slope, where right here, it was just a big increase. So that tells me that we are increasing, not rapidly, but at a great pace. And we're not going to see a market crash, okay? And I'm gonna get into that data as well as far as a market crash. So the next topic we are gonna get into is population. Okay, what's the density of population now in 2020, and where we see the hot markets coming in 2030, okay? Where the hot market is gonna be in 2030. In case you're thinking about maybe purchasing a house, you might wanna look into this data and maybe pick those cities and purchase your house in those cities. So let's get into population by density right now. Okay, my friends, welcome back. We're gonna get into population by density. I am going to remove me from the screen so you can actually see the entire screen of what's going on. So this is the population right now in 2020. Okay, as you can see right there, this is by density. Okay, population by density of how many people are living in the areas. There is the regional analyst table. You can get this at this site right here, social economic projections. I will link that below as well, so you can take a look at this as well. That's the layout of the city. Now, check this out. If you are thinking of either selling your house and moving to a different city, or just buying your first house, these are like the hot areas that are going to be coming up in 2030 as far as people moving into the area as far as density. So let me bring this back up right now. Get me out of the screen. Now, you look at these population by density. This is by 2030. This is a projection of what's going on. Okay, we're gonna blow some stuff up here. Is you can see right here in Scottsdale, we have a couple areas west and northwest of Scottsdale. We have some areas here in Mesa, okay, Queen Creek and Mesa and Apache Junction. Santan, which is like down here, it's growing like crazy. That's a great area to buy. We have some densities right here as far as where the new Loop 202 is. That is in Ahwatukee by the freeway. And then we have this area, which is Laveen, South Phoenix, where the new freeway is there as well. Now, look at these areas over here in Phoenix, up past Paradise Valley. We have North Phoenix over here by Cave Creek, and right here as well, Glendale and Northwest Surprise. And then just the West Valley is just blowing up like crazy. You're talking about Tolleson, Avondale, Goodyear, Buckeye. These are all areas that are just gonna be blowing up for 2030. So what does this mean to you as a seller or a home buyer? Well, if you want to get more bang for your buck as a first-time home buyer, you should start looking at these areas. This is projection as far as people moving into that valley. There's a lot of new construction. There is some resale as well, but that is pretty much the map of what we're looking at as far as population per density from 2020 to 2030. Okay, my friends, so the next chart is going to be very simple. We're going to talk about employment and forbearance. Employment and forbearance, and we're going to compare Arizona to the U.S. of what's going on here locally, because I'm a local agent. I am always looking at the local data here. Once again, you know, this video is sponsored by the Crawford Report, where I pay a subscription fee to get the data and to shoot these videos for you, so you can be mindful when you're thinking about doing something in some real estate. So as you can see here is when the Corona hit, we spiked up pretty good, and so did the U.S. economy. Now, this is us, Arizona, right here. Okay, so we were at 3.8%, and the total U.S. was 3.9%. But as you can see, is everything has gone back down. Right now, as of this is May of 2016, the U.S. is at 1.4, and Arizona is at 0.9%. Okay, 0.9%. So that is the chart as far as UI initial claims that reflect unemployment benefits, right? Insurance benefits here in the state of Arizona. So we are actually below the total U.S. economy. We are at 0.9%, while the U.S. is at 1.4. Now let's get into the big topic, which is forbearance. People who are not paying their mortgage payment. The chart shows very well here is that we are about 8%. Okay, a little bit above 8%. Okay, so think about that. That's like the total U.S. Economy, which is not a lot. If you see the previous chart, is how we went into a whole housing crisis is because of loans. Here in the state of Arizona and across the U.S. is there's a lot of people who have a lot of equity. So if they get into some trouble, they can sell it, make a profit, go rent, come back and buy again later. So forbearance, I don't think is going to be an issue at all as of right now. As you see, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, forbearance rate is manageable, and then mortgage forbearances fall for the first time. So it looks like people are getting back to work and making those payments. Now, what the next slides we're going to get into is the Cromford Market Index, and this is pretty much going to measure supply and demand. Okay, supply as a home buyer, demand as a home buyer, supply as a seller, supply as a home buyer, because you're going to move you're moving into that home buyer section. Okay, so let's deep dive into that right now. Okay, so I am going to remove myself here is the Cromford Market Index. This is a report that I pay for. So 100 in the line in the middle means it's a balanced market. That means that no buyer or seller has the negotiation power. Anything over 100 is a seller's pretty much has the authority, has the advantage over the buyer, and anything under 100, the buyer has the advantage of the seller. So with that being said, let's get into the market index, and we're just going to be looking at this middle right here. We are at 170.2, so we are high sellers market still here in Phoenix, Arizona. So if you are a first-time home buyer or repeated home buyer, and if you are a seller, you have the authority. This is June 8th of 2020. Okay, we're going to get into the Cromford Market Index as well. Once again, remember, 100 means it is a balanced market where no side of the coin has the advantage, buyer or seller. Okay, you can see here is we dipped right here with the Corona, and we were still about 145. We had not even dipped to 100. And then you can see here is we are mapping all the way back up per the Cromford report. If we draw this little line across, we're going to be close to 180. So we are still in a high sellers market. We don't see that dipping back down as well. Now let's get into the Cromford Market Index, and we're going to compare 2005, 2019, and 2020, because people keep on commenting on these videos that we're going to have a market crash. Well, I don't know. I'm putting my what's on the line and on the table and telling you guys is like, hey, we're not seeing that. We're not seeing the data here in Arizona. I don't know what other states and the U.S. economy is going to happen. It's not going to be a housing crash. If it does crash, it's going to be something different. But the data shows here that it's not going to happen. And the reason why is you'll see 2005 is there was a big drop. Look at this drop right here. Okay, we were at the balance right there. In 2019, we were still increasing. Okay, now look at 2020. We dropped, Corona hit, and then now we're back up to right here where we are at about $1.60, 65. To be in a balanced market, it tells you right here, this is where we have to be at 100. We are at 165. It doesn't look like it's going to slow down for the rest of the year or the years to come. Now, this is a great chart coming into you right now on your screen, which pretty much the cities ranked. as far as buyers have an advantage or sellers have an advantage. Those are the top 7: Avondale, Glendale, Maricopa, Gilbert, Mesa, Chandler, Phoenix. If you are a home buyer and you find a house, you need to go all in. Okay, you are not going to get a deal. The data's right here. You're not even going to the best deal you're going to get if you go to Paradise Valley. So you have a little bit of negotiation skill as a buyer. But you can see almost everything in the top 16 states, they're all sellers market. Look at that. They're all above 100. But if you are a home buyer looking in these states right here, they are all sellers markets. So you're going to have to go all in. Let me see here. What is this one? Oh, this is appreciation. I get a lot of questions about appreciation. We are in line as far as appreciation, 3.9%. This is where we're at right here. This is the projection. So we are right at the market. Where back in 2005, look at this. Now, this is what causes a housing crash here, is when you have a really high appreciation rate and this black line goes up as well. And then look at this big old crash right there. Wow, ouch. So we're not seeing that as far as our market. Look at the steady flow here. You know, this is the highest peak we had right here was in 2012, okay? And that's when a lot of the investors came back and started buying a lot of the properties, okay? Because values were still low right here. And then when we kind of stabled out, a bunch of the investors came in, a lot of portfolio investors came in and started buying these properties. So look at the steady line of appreciation, okay? Compared to when the market crashed, okay? There's the data. I'm just showing you the data, okay? I'm a data-driven person. Now, you want to know what the evidence of a crash is? It is right here. This is an evidence of a crash. Supply and demand, okay? We had demand here, we had supply here, and look at how this just changed all of a sudden, okay? Now, this was a big gap as far as supply and demand. Demand index now is, we are at normal. This is the normal line. If you look at this, this is the normal line right here, okay? She points it out. Is there an evidence of a silver tsunami home price crash? No, we're not seeing anything like that here in Phoenix, Arizona, because we are below normal. Look at the supply index is down here, a negative 48.7%, and the demand is 12.7. So as long as supply is below demand, we are not going to see a crash here in Arizona. I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's a lot, you know, it's a lot to consider here on what's going on, but I just wanted to show you the data. Some people might not like this video because it's a lot of data driven, but I've been getting a lot of questions, you know, and instead of me just talking to you and trying to sell you shit on this video, those are the facts, all right? This channel is for the facts. If you want plastic, you can go on to Facebook or Instagram and follow some of the plastic people out there who, my life is great. You know, I know everything. I'm not going to show you the data and the facts, but I'm just going to tell you what to do. This channel is not about that. It's just about being real, raw, and relevant and giving you all the facts and the charts so you can make a sound decision when you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in some real estate. Once again, Victor Huerta, a Phoenix local real estate agent here in Arizona. You know how to get a hold of me. All my information is below. Reach out. We can go through some scenarios on the whiteboard if you're thinking about selling or buying, or just buying as well. We love to earn your business, and we will see you on the next video. If you have any questions, email me at victor@freeagentproperties.com. Again, that email address is victor@freeagentproperties.com, where we release new videos each week on home buyer tips, home seller tips, the Phoenix housing market updates, so you can be mindful when you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate. We will talk to you soon.